Introductio. Hello and welcome to our video series on the topic, what would happen if a giant asteroid collided with Earth? In this series, we will explore the various possibilities of such an event and discuss what we can do to prevent it from happening. As we know, asteroids are small rocky bodies that orbit the Sun, and sometimes their paths intersect with Earth's orbit. Most of the asteroids in our solar system are located in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. However, some asteroids have orbits that bring them closer to Earth. If a large asteroid were to collide with Earth, it could have devastating consequences. The energy released from such a collision would be equivalent to that of a nuclear explosion and could cause widespread destruction. The effects could range from a crater the size of a small city to a global catastrophe that could wipe out all life on Earth. In this series, we will explore the different types of asteroids that could potentially collide with Earth, the likelihood of such an event occurring, and the potential consequences of such an event. We will also discuss what we can do to prevent such an event from happening, and what preparations we can make in case it does. So, let's dive in and explore this fascinating topic in more detail. Types of asteroids. There are several types of asteroids that could potentially collide with Earth. The first type is the Near-Earth Asteroid, NEA, which is an asteroid whose orbit brings it within 1.3 astronomical units, AU, of the Sun. These asteroids are of particular concern because they have the potential to collide with Earth. Another type of asteroid is the Apollo asteroid, which is an asteroid that crosses Earth's orbit. These asteroids have a much greater chance of colliding with Earth than NEAs. The third type of asteroid is the Aten asteroid, which is an asteroid that has an orbit that brings it within 0.983 AU of the Sun and could potentially collide with Earth. The size of an asteroid is also an important factor in determining its potential impact. Small asteroids, less than 10 meters in diameter, usually burn up in the Earth's atmosphere before reaching the ground. However, asteroids larger than 10 meters can cause damage on impact. The most dangerous type of asteroid is the one that is more than 1 kilometer in diameter. An asteroid of this size could cause widespread destruction and could even cause a global catastrophe. Likelihood of an asteroid collision. The likelihood of an asteroid collision with Earth depends on the size and orbit of the asteroid. The larger the asteroid and the closer its orbit to Earth, the greater the likelihood of a collision. NASA has identified several NEAs that could potentially collide with Earth in the next few decades. These asteroids are being monitored closely, and scientists are working on ways to deflect them if necessary. The probability of a large asteroid colliding with Earth is relatively low, but the consequences of such an event would be catastrophic. The impact of an asteroid collision would release an enormous amount of energy and could cause massive destruction. Consequences of an asteroid collision. The consequences of an asteroid collision would depend on the size and speed of the asteroid and the location of the impact. An asteroid impact could cause widespread destruction and could even cause a global catastrophe. The impact of an asteroid would release an enormous amount of energy, equivalent to that of a nuclear explosion. The resulting shockwave could cause massive destruction and could even trigger earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. The impact would also cause a massive dust cloud, which could block out the Sun and cause a global cooling effect. If the asteroid were to hit the ocean, it could cause massive tsunamis that could devastate coastal areas. The impact could also cause a release of vaporized material into the atmosphere, which could lead to acid rain and further environmental damage. The aftermath of an asteroid impact would be devastating. The loss of life and destruction of property would be immense, and it could take years, if not decades, for affected areas to recover. Prevention and mitigation. Preventing an asteroid collision with Earth is a complex task, but scientists and researchers are working on several strategies to mitigate the risk. One approach is to identify and track potentially hazardous asteroids and predict their future paths. This information can be used to calculate the likelihood of a collision and to develop strategies to deflect the asteroid if necessary. One technique that has been proposed for deflecting an asteroid is the use of a kinetic impactor. This involves sending a spacecraft to collide with the asteroid and change its course. Another approach is to use a gravity tractor, which involves placing a spacecraft near the asteroid to exert a gravitational force that alters its path. Another approach to asteroid mitigation is the use of nuclear explosives. This involves detonating a nuclear device near the asteroid to change its course. However, this approach is controversial and has not been tested in practice. In addition to prevention and mitigation strategies, it is also important to develop emergency response plans in case an asteroid collision does occur. These plans should include evacuation procedures, disaster relief efforts, and communication strategies to inform the public of the situation. Conclusion. In conclusion, the possibility of a giant asteroid colliding with Earth is a real and potentially catastrophic event. While the likelihood of such an event is relatively low, the consequences would be devastating. It is important for us to continue monitoring and tracking potentially hazardous asteroids and to develop strategies to prevent or mitigate the risk of collision. Emergency response plans should also be developed to prepare for the worst-case scenario. As we continue to explore our universe, it is important to keep in mind the potential hazards that exist and to take steps to protect ourselves and our planet. Thank you for watching this video series on what would happen if a giant asteroid collided with Earth. We hope that you found this information informative and thought-provoking. As we have seen, there are many potential outcomes of an asteroid collision with Earth, including devastating environmental impacts, loss of life, and destruction of property. However, we also have the knowledge and technology to prevent or mitigate the risk of such an event. It is important for individuals, governments, and organizations to work together to address this potential threat and to develop strategies to protect our planet. By continuing to study and monitor asteroids, we can gain a better understanding of their behavior and develop new techniques for mitigating the risk of collision. Ultimately, our goal should be to ensure the safety and well-being of all life on Earth. We must remain vigilant and prepared, but also optimistic about our ability to address this challenge. Thank you again for watching this video series, and we encourage you to stay informed and engaged on this important topic. Together, we can work towards a safer and more secure future for our planet.